Hi everyone, we're gonna get started. I'm Caitlin Ployer, and I'm just gonna be talking to you today about going to AOTA conference and hopefully answering any questions that you have and kind of helping you guys to facilitate groups to go. Sorry, I've been a little sick, so I sound a little manly, but it's okay. It's gonna be great. Okay, so Chicago is on April 7th through the 10th, and it's 51 days and 12 hours and 5 minutes away. My slides are moving on their own. Escape it? Just do it and slide? Okay. What you do there, we're also going to be talking about housing and transportation and a little bit about the events while you're at conference. So let's see if we've got this back on. Oh, perfect. Yep, we're also going to be talking about group promo code, fundraising, and if you don't have a group for going to conference, we're going to try and get you on a list to help you contact each other. First, why should you go to conference? I just want a disclaimer, there's going to be a lot of pictures of me in this slideshow because those are the only pictures I had to add. But AOTA, they provide you with this awesome link. Open hyperlink. Okay, so basically, according to them, you should go because it's a chance to learn more, kind of see the leaders in faculty as well as students, make connections, events, and also Chicago, which is its own reason because Chicago is awesome. Another reason, like why it applies to you as a student, is it really helps you get good ideas for some of your upcoming projects as second-year students, like for example, doing your CAP research assignment, kind of developing your professional rotation and what you want out of that. Also, it can help you figure out current sites that might be interesting for you for field work. So it's a really good, I think it's really important to attend as a first year as well as a second year. All right, Dean's reimbursement. So to receive the Dean's reimbursement, so you volunteer 3 hours at QSOTA service events and attend one social event. So that's a QSOTA sponsored event. Or you can volunteer 6 hours for QSOTA service events. You also have to attend conference. Attending conference is either purchasing a ticket for at least 1 day of conference or volunteering 6 hours at conference. Okay, so there's a difference between the 6 hours QSOTA volunteering and the 6 hours at conference, okay? In addition to that, you have to attend 75% of QSOTA meetings throughout the year. Any questions on that? Oh, okay, good. All right, so if you've met all those qualifications, you have to also prove that you went to conference and just didn't go to Chicago and have a great time by getting an envelope to me while at conference. So we want you to bring an envelope with you with your address on it. And this is your address of where you'll be in May. If you don't have that address, that's fine. A parent's address, someone you trust's address is fine, or where you currently live, and if you're having your mail forwarded, that will also work. It also has to have a stamp, and don't steal it. Otherwise, we can't put your check in there, okay? So getting the envelope to me, you're gonna have to get it to me while I'm at conference. Last year, it was kind of just get it to her while at conference, but that kind of made it hard to locate her. So we're going to have a set location and time each day of conference for you to get that envelope to me. So it doesn't matter if you're attending Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I will be there at that time, at that place, that day. So you'll be able to find me, okay? Also, we're having a meeting tomorrow to figure out more about that, exactly what we're going to do with the logistics. Megan, did you have a question?
Yeah, about the address will be, should we expect to get that before we start?
Megan's question was, should we expect to get that envelope before we start level 2s? Last year, we filled them out end of April, first week in May, right? Mm-hmm. So it's probably right when you're going to be starting your level 2s. It depends because it's the new exec board that fills those out, and we don't really have any control about specifically when they'll fill them out. I would suggest that no matter where you're doing your level 2, you put a forwarding address through the U.S. Post Office, so that even if you would address it to your old address and you end up going somewhere else, it can still get to you. A lot of people last year put it at their parents' address. Okay. Yeah. Also, another word on that, we also had people that put like their nicknames on the address, and we couldn't match them with who they were on the CUSOTA roster. So like to try and track your hours. So just put your actual name or whatever you have on your school student ID on there, okay? And if it's your parents, you can put like CC your name, okay? Any other questions on the envelope? Nope, okay. Excuse me. Okay, so when I sent out an info session before, I had these rates up here, but I wanted to be able to discuss them with you a little bit more. So the two rates we're really looking at as student AOTA members are the 3-day pass and the Thursday, Friday, or Saturday pass. These are, again, the prices if you purchase before March 10th. If you go there in April and, buy your ticket, then you'll pay the one outlined in white, so the $412 for a 3-day pass. The 1 day is the same. As you can see, if you purchase a 3-day pass and you put in the group code, which should get you 20% off, you're looking at about $240 for a 3-day pass. Okay. If you purchase 2 days of 176, you're over what it would cost for the 3 days. Does that make sense? So if you're planning on attending more than 1 day, it would be better for you to buy the 3-day pass. How you decide whether you're going Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, it's helpful to review the online on the AOTA website, their list of events, so you can see what's being presented that day and see what is interesting to you. Any questions on the prices? Yes?
Sorry.
That's okay.
If you volunteer, do you get access to just the expo for that day, or do you what do you get access to if you meet AOTA and volunteer requirements?
Okay, so she is asking about volunteering at the AOTA conference and how you get your expo pass. Oh, the next slide is volunteering. So yes, if you volunteer you have to volunteer for 4 hours to get an expo pass, and you only get it for that day, and you only can view the expo. But I'll tell you, I viewed just the expo last year because I was late addition to CUSOTA, but it was still a really great experience, and you get to see quite a few vendors. But yes, it is just for that 1 day, and it is after you volunteer. They give you the pass. If you're going to volunteer, I would recommend, if you do the 4 hours of volunteering that day, leaving at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to go through the expo hall, because there are a lot of vendors and there's a lot to see. So volunteering, let's see what else. Yep, 4 hours, 1 day after volunteering. They do allow, so if you do 2 hours on Thursday and then 2 hours on Friday, that's when you've completed the 4 hours. So that's when you get the expo pass, would be Friday. Does that make sense? With volunteering, as counting towards going to conference for dean's reimbursement, you have to do 6 hours of volunteering. So for example, if you do your 4 hours of volunteering on Thursday, and then you go view the expo hall, and then the next day you do 2 hours of volunteering, then you are eligible for the dean's reimbursement because you've done 6 hours of volunteering at QSOTA, or at conference, sorry. Any questions on that? Oh, good, that's good. I don't know how many positions are still available because they did fill up pretty fast. I'm going to be sending this out, and there's a link to where the volunteer section's at, okay? All right, using the group promo code. Originally, I emailed you guys, I think, over break about the group promo code, and there were some questions about how many days you have to buy in order to be eligible for the 20% off. So first of all, this code you enter when you're checking out, and if there's over 50 of us, we get 20% off. That 20% off will go back onto the credit card or debit card that you use to purchase your ticket, okay? So you won't see it reflected until after, I think after conference is when it goes back on your card. So the question from Liz Torres over break was, what if I only buy a day pass? Do I still get that 20% off? That is still unclear, I'm sorry to say. But I talked to Dr. Dahl, and she said that they kind of change that every year. That so she knows for sure that if you buy the 3-day pass, you can get the 20% off. But if you buy a 1-day pass, it's not guaranteed that you'll get the 20% off. And she said that they kind of decide that when they see how many, like she said in the past you would get the 20% off, but last year they started saying no. And I haven't gotten a clear answer from AOTA on that. So my advice is to put in the code no matter what. If you're only buying 1 day, don't bank on getting the 20% off. But if you are going for all 3 days, you will. Any questions on that? Sorry, I don't have more clear information on that. Okay. Raising. There's another picture of me. Concessions and garage sale. So this money, as I said before, is all separate from the dean's reimbursement. So how is it distributed? The money earned from concessions is given to you on an hourly rate, okay? If you want to check how many hours you've worked, you can email me. I just want to go over all of the hours and double check it with the rest of the exec team before I make them public. But if you want to check with me first, if you're curious, you can email me. As far as the garage sale goes, you can donate. If you donate items or work the garage sale, you'll earn extra money towards going to conference. This money, what can this money be used for? Anything. Driving there, hotels, eating while you're there. This is more of like for your personal expenses going to conference. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, great. So alumni and deans events, we had these last year and they were a lot of fun. There was free food and the lunch was really fun because it was in this really old restaurant that was gorgeous. But anyway, so if you want to go to these, be sure to RSVP if you're attending. These will be sent out closer to conference. And just check with, whoever you're going with. If they want to attend too, you can all go as a group. However, we do ask that if you RSVP that you're attending, you do show up because we're providing you with food. It's, with the dean and alumni, and it's more of a formal event. So if you RSVP, we do ask that you show up. Failure to do so may result in professional disciplinary actions. These events are a great opportunity to meet with the dean, kind of talk about what you've done so far at conference, see what everyone else is doing, just connect as a Creighton group. And yeah, food is usually provided. Somebody asked on the FAQ questions if they could bring a spouse. And I think that it'll say on, I think it'll say on the invitation if you're bringing a guest, who they are. And I think for the alumni event, we were allowed to, but not the dean's lunch. So I would consult the actual invitation for that information. Okay? All right, conference info. I'm just going to bring up the AOTA website page because there is so much great information on there. And I love looking at it. Okay, so here's our countdown right here. This is where you register. Now I want to bring up the transportation page because it's really helpful. They have conference specific. Yes.
Sorry, I have a quick question regarding the previous slide. If we do not attend the lunch or the other event, it's not going to affect Dean's reimbursement or anything, right? If we don't RSVP and don't attend, that's completely okay?
Yes, that's correct. So Amy asked if you don't attend the Dean's or the alumni events, does it affect Dean's reimbursement? And the answer is no. You are free to attend those or not, depending on what you're doing. Yep.
The Dean does recommend it though, just because he came to us and offering money to go out there.
Yeah.
So he recommends that we go to one of them because we represent Creighton OT money there, especially to the alumni that go out there as well. So it's recommended.
Yes. Yep, Joe Paul just said, I'm just sorry, I'm reiterating for distance, that it is recommended that you go because, like you said, the dean is supporting us and going and giving us the dean's reimbursement and helping us get to conference. So it is, it would be good to go and show our support, and he's there and he's so interested in what have you learned so far in conference? What did you find exciting? Why did you come? He wants to know. So it is good to attend that lunch and those events to represent Creighton. Okay, back to this transportation page on the AOTA website. They do have conference-specific travel to kind of help you. There are taxi cabs, and there is a Airport Express. So they are offering a 10% discount. So you have to make online reservations and kind of tell them, hey, I'm going with this conference, and all that information is on AOTA website. So whether you're flying or driving. There's also information on shuttle service to McCormick Place. Again, that's complimentary. Last year, the shuttles are a little crazy because everyone is going to conference and coming back. So if you are planning on using the shuttle, make sure just to kind of get familiar with their services and the map of the area. Another thing I wanted to look at here was the schedule overview. So this is where you're going to find a very general idea of what's going on. But if you click on the PDF, it opens up and there's it's broken down in an introductory, intermediate, advanced, and then by day of what's going on. So you can see which day and time certain presentations are being made so that you can inform your decision on whether you're going Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Let's see. Oh, there is also now an AOTA Annual Conference and Expo app on your phone, which is really cool. So you just search it on the store and download it like you would. And it has all of those sessions on there, and you can add them to your calendar, like in your phone, which is very cool. And it has like a bit of information about like maps on different exhibits. It's pretty interesting. So I'd recommend getting it if you're going. In order to access the really cool features, though, you have to have already registered for conference and put that confirmation number in there. Okay, questions before we move on to housing and travel? No? Great. Oh, Joe Paul's going to say something. Okay.
So the meeting with the dean wasn't too long ago regarding the dean's reimbursement. So the dean doesn't have money just to give us currently, so we're keeping it as it is. It's $200 per person at a max of 70 people. He's allowing us currently to still split it with whoever goes, but he is keeping in mind if other organizations such as QSAPTA or whatnot, they have also allotted so much money for their conferences. If there is money left over that was not used for their conferences, he is keeping in mind once it actually get dispersed, if we have over that 70 amount of people that go, to supplement the remainder with that. So that's currently what it stands right now. I won't know any of that actual amount that he'll disperse past the 70 people until we actually go to conference, because he has to wait till all of us have had our conferences. So I don't have an exact number because of that, but we are guaranteed for sure that $200 for 70 people, and then we'll just distribute it with whoever goes to conference. Any questions on that? No. Okay, and I'll talk about this again on our meeting on Monday, but just since you guys are all here interested in the conference, I want you guys to know. Good.
Thank you, Joe Paul. Okay.
It's going to be just, okay, sorry. The question was, how are we going to distribute the money for the 70? We're not actually distributing it just with the 70, we're distributing it with whoever goes. So whoever's qualified, whoever is there, if we have 80 people, that amount will just be distributed between the 80 people. And that was unanimous in the survey that I sent out last semester, was how you guys wanted that money distributed. And out of the 100 and some that responded, there was only 2 that said first come, first serve. So it was pretty unanimous that it was just to be distributed between everybody.
But in other words, interest is over that.
I'm sorry. Interest in the spring, or interest in the fall it's gone down just a little bit. So I don't know how it's going to be now. We may or may not do one more survey right before conference when people are actually really starting to look at it. So that way we have a better idea, and I can let the dean know one last time, hey, we're really close at this. This is what we have confirmed so far.
Yeah, I totally second what Joe Paul said. Originally we were close to the 123 area, but I could say we've had quite a few people drop off, and we've had quite a few people that aren't actually eligible for dean's reimbursement that are still coming to conference. So we could do an interest meeting or interest survey again, probably sooner than later because conference is coming up. So
just around the corner.
Yeah, 51 days.
Any other questions on that? Those are very good questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.